Welcome to the BBC YouTube channel. Explore the idea that for every action, there is a corresponding reaction. Great sales management can counteract any problems that may occur because great sales are vital to the success of any company. The sales manager is to make sure their sales goals are being met. They make the final decision of who should be replaced and allocate budgets for training. There are many skills a good sales manager needs to possess, including the ability to hire great people, build a proper training regimen, and address consequences if salespeople fail at their job. If you want more of this content, subscribe to the BBC YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. To be a successful sales manager, you need commitment over time, but it's worth the investment to get success in your company. Challenge 1. Managing big or fragile egos. Despite the popular perception of top salespeople as being ego-driven, research shows that many believe they're driven by their insecurities and need to trade success for this. When a company rewards its salesperson with an award that highlights their outstanding year, the personal opinion of his coworkers is taken into account, saying that this person has a fragile ego. The salesperson himself is more honest about his struggles and might be suffering from some emotional baggage. The point is that there is a way for you to use ego-driven needs to bring about greater sales results. The idea is to use social recognition to motivate salespeople. You should consider social recognition as an essential part of the methods you should be using to manage your salespeople. A successful business owner needs to motivate their employees. By praising customer sales, they show that they believe in the success of those overall, and workers will either choose to grow in this company or move on. Congratulate new sales performance with a letter to the sender's home. Use the good news in organization newsletters and posters around the office that prominently feature the picture of a monthly award winner. Give out monthly awards to the members of your team. Individuals might feel more motivated if they were always competing for a given title and not with other internal employees constantly. It saves time to give individual awards that have the potential for higher emotional value, such as Outstanding Sales Performer of the Month instead of Outstanding Sales Performer of the Year. Challenge 2. Most salespeople do not like to deal with. It's surprising when you come across a top-performing salesperson who has a weakness in coordination and attention to detail, since these individuals are more concerned with the benefits than performance. You need to find the right level of structure for your salespeople. Ensure there's a clear process and some structure, but keep it to a minimum. Most salespeople will create better results by balancing administrative work with what you want them to do. The owner of a manufacturing company said that they wish they had directed their best sales employees to work in their administrative skills. They eventually realized that by working on these skills, their staff would be more productive rather than trying to control them by making them memorize scripts or follow particular processes. A business owner needs to change the job responsibilities of his salespeople in light of their natural tendencies and capabilities, rather than trying to make them into administrative experts. Once the owner accepted that they were happier with less administrative work, it was much easier to do so. He assigned one of his support staff as an administrator, while asking his salespeople only for work they enjoyed. As a result, the sales performance increased greatly. Salespeople need administrative support to keep their business running. Challenge 3. Most high-achieving salespeople are passionate and emotional with their views. Some salespeople may have negative traits such as laziness and lack of motivation. If so, you should be aware of these characteristics to address them. They can present suggestions without all the facts necessary to support them. They are trusting and want to see good in others, even if it's only a smokescreen. They believe what they say and usually don't assess the other's chances of closing a deal. They don't think before making decisions and judgments. Some sellers are too loud, but you can encourage them to listen closely. Slow down and encourage connections grounded in empathy. Build trusting relationships with buyers to get them to engage with your decision. Consulting salespeople can give you valuable insight into their feelings about a conclusion, even if they do not have all the facts. Listen closely, for their ideas and feedbacks are very important. If you prefer facts, you should spend more time listening and less time responding. Salespeople have to hold back while they communicate important information. They need to be both passionate and patient. The challenge is balancing encouragement with the ability to make statements based on new information. One important factor for salespeople is that their item's gross profit impacts the organization's profits. Sadly, this is not a priority to most top sales performers, yet earning money is a primary motivational force. Money earned motivates these individuals, not whether the employee's profitability is affected. If a sales consultant doesn't feel that they're contributing to a company's success, push them towards profit-based commissions. Challenge 4. Pick the right time and setting for discussing poor sales results. The most common goal for a top-performing salesperson is to make money. They are most satisfied when they achieve the goals they set out for themselves and feel the most dejected when they do not achieve these goals. When discussing poor sales results, it is important to discuss the subject in a private setting rather than in front of others. Doing so can cause emotional problems and more difficulties for the salesperson. To resolve the problem, it is important to figure out what is causing it and neutralize that part of the problem. During your one-on-one session, you need to try to get to the root of the problem by finding out what will cause it. You also need to focus on acknowledging their concerns and potential opportunities. Having an unshakable belief in what they are selling can be powerful for your salespeople. An example is Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, who were not able to sell their product to Atari or Hewlett-Packard, but they used the rejection as fuel and built Apple, a company that is now legendary. When there are sales problems in general, you need to talk about the issue as soon as it happens. Find out how to talk to employees about performance. Instead of worrying about what's gone wrong during a sales meeting, spend your time working towards the future and solving problems. People want to be remembered and cared for. Challenge 5. Deal with a salesperson who does not follow the rules, programs, and processes. Many salespeople are seen as loose cannons, and it is easy to think that simply telling them how to do something is the best bet. However, it is important to discuss this with your employees and find out if this is the correct way or not. But with salespeople, you need more time to apply rules and procedures that must be followed. How do you get them to follow the rules? That's not easy, especially when there are conflicts that may seem reasonable. There will always be conflicts where some salesmen don't want to follow the rules. For example, supplying incentives without discounts. What do you do? When mentoring salespeople, focus on building their persistence and trust. Be sure to avoid reprimanding them harshly or using criticism. Instead of following the typical management pattern where feedback is given abruptly after a not-so-successful task, offer a positive comment before discussing a need for change. Challenge 6. Keep the balloon filled. When you are a results-driven sales manager, one of the responsibilities is to make sure that your sales teams are always confident. You need to be constantly aware of how your goals affect the confidence level of your team to create more success. You must balance the need to criticize with how it will impact the person you are criticizing. Salespeople usually don't handle criticism well, and when they get criticized directly or think that they are about to be, it's like pulling on a balloon until it pops. You should always ask for a clarification request rather than showing immediate anger or judgment. Never attack salespeople. Instead, ask them politely why they did what they did. You could also ask them, what needs to be done? Or, what can I do to help us get back on track? Communication is vital when dealing with sales staff. Show your support for those entering sales by gathering the best examples of confident, top-performing salespeople and displaying them to all. Self-efficacy is a mindset that helps in making continuous progress in selling. It helps to have a resilient and optimistic perspective even when you face obstacles or rejection at work. Sometimes you have a difficult or high-maintenance salesperson with whom you need to sometimes deflate the ego to get your message across. This is particularly challenging when the person in question needs to listen to advice or suggestions, and the salesperson thinks they know more than anyone else does about selling. When it comes to how you motivate your salesperson, you can't expect them to have a very high amount of self-esteem. but you can make positive changes in the salesperson's level of self-efficacy by offering constant praise and reinforcement. Remind your salespeople that they can reach their goals. Show them that you believe in them and offer encouragement by praising any successes that they may experience. If you think and demonstrate to the salesperson that you have faith in their abilities and give them support, they will improve. To grow your sales, you need to make it easy for your sales team to believe in themselves. If you commit to this regularly, your team should see incredible results. The management team should provide the sales team with factual, realistic goals for their quota. Challenge 7. Salespeople are typically not very good at managing their time. Salespeople typically don't know how to manage their time and as a result, need help understanding how to get more done with less. There is a balance between the need to make employees feel at home and getting them to do their job. They often get their best results when they work in an atmosphere that allows salespeople to have a personal connection with others in your organization. This type of environment is not limited to the salespeople. It applies to the entire company. Salespeople need to interact with non-sales staff employees. They need an environment that allows them to have time with other employees. This interaction is important for top salespeople. Other workplace double standards are when you see your accountants spending more time with other employees than your salespeople, or if you see one of your employees schmoozing with other employees, and when you see one of your salespeople doing the same thing. The difference is that schmoozing is a social activity that most top salespeople feel they need to do now and then. But not all workers do this because it's not something they're in charge of doing. If a company is entirely sales-driven, the employees that do not deal with customers themselves can be a problem. These employees may inadvertently damage the trust of customers by talking badly about their sales colleagues. Or they could try to curry favor with them by telling them about other people's shortcomings. It's common for non-selling employees to give off negative energy that can defeat the passion of a salesperson. A pop-the-balloon moment is often when an offering is made and a potential customer shoots it down. Try to identify negative or cynical employees and know how to address their negativity. You can either talk with them or try to solve the problem, or you could simply let them go. Many times, it's the salesperson who makes social connections with other employees within the company, but not always. It's very common for salespeople to feel like they cannot deny another employee access to social time, even if the salesperson has a deadline or early morning meeting coming up. Salespeople tend to take the business relationship they have with fellow customers into a friendship. This isn't negative, so you don't have to discourage it. In some cases, it will be positive because the salesperson can influence others to buy your product or use your service if they are passionate about them. If your salesperson does that, other potential customers will become excited with our organization. Challenge 8. Invest the time needed to. You must be patient when managing high-maintenance salespeople as they require time to vent. Once they are done venting, ask if there is any way you can help them. If you tell the salesperson what they need to improve, they won't take it as an insult. It is critical to find a way to point out these improvements in a way that's not discouraging. If a salesperson does not establish a pattern of consistent results, then it is okay to let the salesperson go. Challenge 9. Learn the personal goals of each of your salesperson. A successful leader who is good at making sure that others feel loved and important might be a rare gift. But when dealing with salespeople, it's crucial to make them feel both loved and important to boost their sales. To successfully motivate each one of your salespeople, you first need to understand their individual goals and needs. They'll be more productive if they understand why they're doing it. Aligning goals for the salesperson with your company's interests will lead to more efficient work. Ask big questions about their values, ambitions, and hopes for the future before aligning them with your organization's desires. Increase the production of your sales force by regularly holding one-on-one meetings with each employee and emphasizing the employee's personal goals. Challenge 10. Offset the levels of rejection and adversity salespeople. Your salespeople will get less rejected if you praise them for their hard work. They need reinforcement that their hard work is worthwhile. Most salespeople are motivated primarily by rejection, rather than being paid. This is because they must use their skill to position themselves so that they can be rejected in the hope of being accepted. Salespeople may feel rejected, but what is important is to listen to their feedback and give them a way to succeed. Reviews, praise, reinforcement, and emotional support all help in improving salespeople's performance on the job. If a salesperson handles rejection poorly, their performance will falter. The bottom line is that this harms the whole company. That's it for this video, BBC member. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person, as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you'll start to see results. See you on the next one.